So the wonderful thing about nature is that nature is everywhere and that it can be accommodated into all sorts of spaces. I mean, if you have a balcony or a small patio, maybe you might want to think about creating a bucket of biodiversity as opposed to having to sow an entire garden as a wildflower meadow. This is an easy way to introduce nature into your smaller spaces, but also it's a great way to get children involved with biodiversity and learning about biodiversity. So here we have a simple bucket of heathers, and heathers are brilliant for feeding the bees much earlier in the year before all of the herbaceous perennials come into flower. Here we have one that will attract not only bees but all other sorts of pollinators, where specifically you have the colour blue and purple, which attracts pollinators such as butterflies and bees. So even in the smallest of space, the tiniest of bucket, here it's just filled with thyme, you can use it for your soup in the kitchen, but the small little flowers that come on this throughout the year bring in all sorts of pollinators. So here's how it is to take a simple bucket and make your very own bucket of biodiversity. So a great little tip when you are putting your drainage holes into your bucket. Don't do it underneath because it will just flood out all over your patio or space. Instead, come up about 2 or 3 fingers deep, which means when you put your crocks into the base, you still have a reservoir that will gather some water. It saves on the watering. So once your bucket is filled 2/3 up, you're now ready to plant. So here what we're going to do is we're going to put a grass in, because the grass is great to give backbone to the planter. This is such a healthy plant, you don't even need to tease out the roots. You can just position it into place. But I'm putting it in slightly to the back so that it's flush with the top. So next up we have something that's going to attract in the pollinators. Most of your daisy-shaped flowers will attract all of your different bees because the nectar is easily accessible. Next up we have some sorrel. And the great thing about sorrel is butterflies will lay their eggs on sorrel. So you'll get a brood of caterpillars in your garden, which extends the season of interest of butterflies having several different generations. So again, very often your colours can either complement each other or be a contrast, but this is already shaping up now into being a quite attractive planter. It just so happens that it's going to attract all different varieties of biodiversity. And of course, don't forget to water.